Well, as we all know, Nintendo gave us a direct on the 3rd, and the news that Kaz and I were probably most excited about was that the new updates were coming to Super Mario
Super
Maker.
Mario Maker!
Yes, every
Yeah.
Koppai episode, I think we inevitably have to talk about something Super Mario
Yeah.
Maker
We've
related.
joked about renaming the podcast Super Mario Maker. Even our rebranding is really based in that kind of concept
Yeah,
of Super
yeah.
Mario Maker and stuff. And so I made sure that like our cover image for the Koppai playlist on our YouTube is our Mario Maker episode. It's just, I mean, yeah, Super Mario Maker.
Yeah, it's one of the best games that has ever been made. I think that we were
Yeah.
right in our assessment. Like when we were hyped for it when it was about to come out, we just kept telling each other like, like one of the greatest games of all time is about to come out right
And
now.
I
Like
mean, and
it's gonna
like you,
change our lives.
not to keep referencing kind of funny, but we're just really avid listeners of them. And Colin Moriarty over there, huge contributor to the video game discussion. He's been in documentaries about the history of video games. He's been just someone who analyzes it and stuff for, I mean, years and years and years, like almost to the point of decades now, because he's been in the industry for so long. And he always makes the point that games haven't really evolved since arguably the N64 when we switched over to 3D. Like that was the last kind of big change.
Right.
And ever since then, every game could arguably be played or the gameplay experience could be made on the N64. Which is really true. Like you have a game like Uncharted or The Last of Us, which people argue are like the games that push forward the boundaries of graphical and gameplay power, but at its core, the gameplay could probably be done on something like the N64. It would look terrible,
Right.
but it could be done. But you have a game like Super Mario Maker, and I don't know if that experience could be done on anything but the Wii U. If it could be done without the graphical power of what we have now, like it needs that fluidity, it needs that powerhouse to have all of the sprites on one page, it needs to have that theme transfer, and it needs to have that gamepad in your lap to completely create and customize in the way you want to do it. It's one of the first games since the N64, I think, that's had such a use of like futuristic hardware. I mean, I guess he did mention like the Wii and stuff, and the Wii is definitely a big argument, and motion controls and stuff like that. So yes, you do have those. Although beyond like Wii Sports, there wasn't any that like completely revolutionized things. Like you have Super Mario Galaxy, where it's just a waggle, which we could have done without that. And Skyward Sword, I don't need to get started on and how much we could have gutted the motion controls in that game.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's definitely just like, I mean, when you say it's one of the best games ever,
Yeah.
it is.
Uh-huh.
It's a historical landmark, I think, for games.
Well, and they're making it even better because there's new updates coming. We were probably most excited about the key door announcement, which is now that if you shake a P
Yeah.
switch block, it turns into a key. Or if you shake, what is it, like a coin, it turns into, or
Yeah,
how does that work exactly?
if you shake uh, a P block, you get a key.
Yeah, because I've done that. I've
If you
done,
shake a door, you get a locked door. And if you shake
you have to
a
shake the door
coin,
three
you get a
times.
red coin.
And then,
And
yeah.
you can have a max of 5 red
Right,
coins
right,
per sub level.
right. Yeah, that's right. I have played around with it a little bit because we told each other we're gonna make a couple levels
I
to
need to get on
promote.
that this weekend. I'll try to have one. I can't talk about it now because I haven't made it yet.
Right.
But hopefully by the time the podcast is up, which will be this Tuesday, yeah, the 15th, the Ides of March. Hopefully I'll have one made. Even if it's really basic, I may honestly remake one of my old levels, but add in some of the new updates because I've missed a few updates.
Yeah.
And so I may want to remake one of my levels or one of the ones I've already started on. But I mean, we talked about this. You can go back to our previous Koppai podcasts over on youtube.com or Koppai Productions. We still need to get a custom URL there. But we talked about that from the very get go. I think even before the game came out, that we wish there had been some confirmation. And then when the game came out, we wish that there had been some sort of way to force a boss fight.
Yeah.
And I have a level, we ride together, we die together, where you have to ride on Yoshi the entire time. And I wanted to make the level where you couldn't progress without Yoshi. And there's a way to force a boss battle there where I made it so you couldn't fight the boss or something while on Yoshi, or like you had to have Yoshi, but then you couldn't get past the next part because there was spikes, so you had to have Yoshi to walk on. And
Yeah.
there's certain ways to gimmick it, but you often had to like make a whole screen dedicated to the boss fight
Hmm.
to kind of cheat the system. And this way, you can have a huge open world and a giant Bowser wandering around, and be like, you have to kill that Bowser. Good
Yeah.
luck.
Uh-huh.
And so,
Yeah, it's an awesome update. It's probably like the best update I would say arguably so far that they've made for the except I guess checkpoints are probably a
yeah.
little bit
Well, those are more practical,
yeah,
but I
yeah.
mean, this is because you even like to make the collectibles and stuff. Like this
Yeah.
completely changes the game. Like you can
Yeah.
have puzzles now and boss fights. I mean,
Uh-huh.
it revamps and adds millions of possibilities. And so,
Yeah, like one I'll just give a quick example because I've started my level which will go up with this podcast in the description, which is called the Pipeland, where I use
hmm,
this new mechanic and it's basically it's like a level with tons of pipes that you have to like hop up on and maneuver around. But there's a this area that I made where you have to like jump narrowly between spikes and grab the key on your way down, and so you have to like
hmm,
jump through and grab the key and make sure you get it. If you miss it, like there's a pipe to start over, but you have to like make that jump and grab the key on your way down and to open the door. So it's really cool how like right off the bat there's like some cool new things that you can do with this
yeah.
update. And then there's a few more updates which I haven't tried. There's a new skewer. Um, guess it probably counts as an enemy or something. That it's one of those. I think
Yeah,
that
if you shake a thwomp.
if you shake a thwomp, yeah, and it's I think they first originated in Super Mario World, um,
Yeah, I believe
something
so.
like that. I don't know if they were in Super Mario Bros. 3 or not, but if they weren't in Super Mario World, it probably would have been 3. I'd guess because I think like thwomps were first introduced in 3, if I
It's,
recall correctly.
yeah, it's all
Um,
blurred, and especially now it's Super Mario Maker. I'm like, I can picture a thwomp in
yeah,
Super Mario Bros.
yeah,
That's
that's
because
crazy.
Super Mario Maker has made it in that, and so.
Yeah,
They look all cool. I looked at all the styles of each, and the new Super Mario Bros. U1 looks devastating. Like that is that'll cut you in half if you
uh,
fall underneath it. And so,
yeah.
uh,
Um, they also added a new super expert mode. I think I still have yet to beat expert mode, but I may have beaten it once or something like that. But I know that a
yeah,
few
it's
times I've
impossible.
tried, I've gotten some super ridiculous, stupid levels in the expert. I can't imagine what super expert mode is like, but I'm definitely gonna have to give it a shot.
Although it is, we haven't really been able to discuss this, and I don't know if many people have even acknowledged it, but there was kind of complaints previously that Nintendo has announced that they are deleting or unpublishing levels that don't get a lot of, I think, completions or something.
Yeah,
And that's a good way to quietly and very seamlessly filter out levels that people use glitches on.
yeah,
If they're impossible to beat, they're just being, or like people that put those levels up where it's like, there's an invisible block some here with a P switch, and the only way to progress is to hit that block, and only the creator knows it. Like, it's like, come on. That's
uh,
not expert level design. That's making it hard for the sake of making it hard. Like, you're not a good developer.
right,
And so, um, gonna be really fun to try out super expert mode, and it's just nonstop Mario. It's incredible. And also, I want to say before we go on to the next story about the costumes and stuff, if you want a level for us to play, if we have the time to do so, we've been really busy lately with the whole rebranding and pushing out this content for you guys. But we'll definitely try to and at least play one. If you want to leave your course IDs down below or tweet at Koppai Media on Twitter, we'll play your levels and maybe offer some impressions and stuff in the next Koppai podcast, or at least get back to you in some sort of way. We really want to kind of foster that community of people that play together. And Super Mario Maker is an excellent way for us to do that and share each other's levels. And sometimes it can be so hard to get stars on your level.
yeah,
And so we'll guarantee you a star even if we hate it because we just love that you supported us.
yeah. Yep, for the last bit of Super Mario Maker news, because I think that's oh no wait, they updated the bookmark website, so now that it shows world records, and so you can now save and attempt to beat like people's world records, and also they added a new button onto like the menu for your levels. When you go onto Course World and click on your levels, you can now click on the little death icon of the X, the white button with the X, when people have died in your levels, and you can go through and see all the comments and deaths manually, like just kind of scrolling through your level.
Hmm,
So that's
cool.
really cool. Um, there was some new costumes that were also pushed out with this update. For some of them have even been discovered in normal mode and expert modes, and I think a lot of them were added to the super expert difficulty. Some of the characters that were added include Tetra, Nabbit, Balloon Fighter, Volleyball Player, Baby Mario, Hikari, and more. I went on and played some of those event courses, and a lot of them are really fun, and you get some really cool ideas with it. So definitely go check those out.